What is up, everybody? Merry Christmas, a day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a great celebration. I hope everybody was blessed during this time. Big game this weekend. If the Chargers win, they're in. Huge game for them. We already heard no Trey Pipkins, no Denzel Perryman, and no Gus Edwards. So that'll be interesting. A couple guys listed as questionable. We'll get into all that. And then we have a very special guest from the Boston Herald. We'll tell you guys, I always tell this story about how we met. We'll talk about it once we get him on, but definitely a very exciting show planned. So yeah, let's get into it. First, let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, we are. There you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Daygo is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
What up, guys? All right, let's get into it. There's no need for introductions. You know who I am. Let us bring in the co-host of this show, and then we'll bring in our very special guest. Very excited about having him on. But first, you guys love listening to him. You don't like listening to me. Let's bring him on.
There you go, baby. Fired up when the glass breaks. Super excited to be here. They're what's it called? What are they? 9-6?
9-6.
Beautiful year, Frown. Winning record. My God. It
A
takes
guy-
very little.
A guy that knows about winning. He's
100%.
covered winning for
100%.
numerous years. You know him, Dan. This is how we met. We were standing waiting for Rob Gronkowski in 2020, right before COVID hit. We're waiting to interview him for Fox Sports. He lied to me because I asked not our special guest, Rob Gronkowski. I asked him, Rob, do you ever get the itch of coming back? He's like, man, do you see everything I'm doing? Why would I want to come back? Signs 3 months later with the damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers and goes on to win a Super Bowl. But we're not angry about that. But thanks to that opportunity, I got to meet this incredible guy. I love this guy. This guy's amazing. Doug Kyed from the Boston Herald. He is, I don't want to butcher this. He's either from Washington, went to school in Washington, but I got to get him this special song. I hope he knows what it is. There you
Yes.
go. There you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
I'm glad you know it, Doug. How are you?
Not from Aberdeen like Brian Danielson,
No.
but I am from I was born in Edmonds, Washington. But yes,
Yeah.
I
I
Brian
knew you were
Danielson,
from-
Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him these days. But yeah, absolutely.
He'll
Doug,
always
how
be
you
Daniel
been?
Bryan to me.
I've been doing well. It's been a crazy time. You know, we're fast week here this week. Saturday game. Who knew that the Patriots, a national audience would want to watch the Patriots? But when you got the Chargers on the schedule, I guess that's what happens. But yeah, it's been a fun week here, fun season.
Doug,
so
don't
far.
you want to relive that incredible game from last year? 6-0, special teams playing a part in that game.
Man,
My
I know
God.
it's. I guess the NFL really wanted to see a repeat of that this year. It's funny, because last week's Patriots game also was flexed to the 425 range. I know you guys out in California didn't have to watch it, but most of the country had to watch the Patriots last week. I think that after these last 2 weeks, the national audience will never want to see the Patriots again.
But I mean, don't you think that if there was like, how do I want to put this? He seems. I was speaking about Drake Maye. He seems like a kind of carbon copy of Justin Herbert in the sense, like you hear him talk. I remember during the draft stuff, I was driving and I heard Rich Eisen cut into audio from Drake Maye, and I'm like, is he talking to Justin Herbert? Like it sounded exactly the same. But what's it been like this year covering new head coach? Bill's no longer there. It's Jerod Mayo, Drake Maye, new quarterback. At first, it wasn't him starting, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, throw him in there." And I thought he's actually played pretty decent. I mean, the weapons there aren't as good. But what has the season been like for you?
It's definitely been a lot different. And no, I mean, I can understand why a national audience would want to watch Drake Maye. He's been great so far. He certainly made, some rookie mistakes and everything like that, but really exciting player, deceptively fast. Like I'm not just saying, like he's legitimately fast. He beats guys to the edge. Really great accuracy so far too. He's like, I think he's pretty close to, if he finishes the season around the same completion percentage, like breaking completion percentage records for a rookie. Pretty similar makeup to Justin Herbert, like you were saying, where like he actually compared himself to Justin Herbert this week, saying that personality wise, not the most like fiery, energetic guy, but a good leader. Obviously mobility, accuracy, big arm. Those are all things that Justin Herbert has. I would say that Drake Maye might be like a little bit faster than Herbert, but he also makes more mistakes than Herbert. So it's like that kind of give and take right there with those two guys. But yeah, definitely been a lot different. Drake May's been great to cover. Jerod Mayo has been a lot different than Bill. A lot of mistakes in the media that he's actually made. He's had to walk back a ton of comments this year. And now, because there were so many instances of that, now he's kind of like been a little bit less transparent. And now he's being a little bit more like Bill Belichick, which, it's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow for us, but it's probably better for the team that he's not saying everything on his mind that he has to walk back a day later.
It feels like when Brandon Staley first got to the Chargers, he would tell us like, yeah, this weekend so-and-so is going. Oh yeah, this weekend so-and-so. Like he would tell us exactly who's going to play. Like if somebody was questionable, he'd be like, oh yeah, Dan's going to play. Oh, Doug. Yeah. Doug's going to go this weekend. And you're like, oh wow. Okay. And then year two, it's like he reined that in and he's like, well, we'll see what happens this weekend and stuff like that. And I mean, as a reporter, you appreciate it, but as like a tactician, you're kind of like, why? Like, with Harbaugh, exactly what you're gonna get. He's like, oh, questionable, and then you come in and you have to wait until an hour and a half before the game to really find out if that guy's gonna go. So that's definitely been. I completely agree with what your analysis is so far.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he was pretty transparent about injuries early on, like saying like, oh, this guy's definitely going to play this week. We're going to see more of this guy this week. That scaled down. But then there was also a comment earlier in the season when he called his team soft after a loss. After that, then he tried to walk that back by saying like, no, they're just playing soft. And it's like, you can't really put the toothpaste back in the tube after that one. There's been a couple other instances like that where like after losses, like the other team will have like a 60-yard touchdown run or something like that. And like the day after a loss, you'll be like, well, if you take out that 60-yard run, then the run defense looks a lot better. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, if you take out all the good plays, then you guys are undefeated. So like he was just doing that way too much. And now, like I said, he's definitely gotten a lot more boring, but all in all, it's probably better for the team. And fans were really getting sick of Mayo saying all these things and having to walk it back. So I think it's probably better for the fan base as well.
I was gonna say also started doing the we're on the yep.
On to Los Angeles. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I was gonna say it's good to see that Drake Maye set the standard high and he has a good hero to look up to like Justin Herbert. Because let me tell you something, the son of Odin, there's one of one, baby. There's no copies over here. But I was gonna say really like my biggest question to you, and I know like the Patriots aren't doing too well, no offense to anybody out there, but like, I'm super curious, really, just what has it been like? You go from covering an absolute legend in and of itself, if you believe the myths, the rumors, and everything else in Bill Belichick, you've seen the peak and now you're kind of seeing the valley. Like, what's been the difference? What's been like the biggest difference you'd say between Bill Belichick running the team and Jerod Mayo running the team, if there is a difference?
I would say that there's definitely a lot of noticeable differences. One of the key ones is like Bill Belichick comes with 50 years of experience. So I feel like you could ask him basically like any football question and he's right on it. He can give you like an expert opinion on a wide receiver, a long snapper, a guard, a defensive end, whatever it is. Jerod Mayo has only been coaching for 5 years. He played for like 7 or 8 years. So he just doesn't have that breadth of knowledge that Bill Belichick did, where like, if you ask him a question about a wide receiver, you're kind of like, yeah, he might know what he's talking about, but it's really his first year concentrating on the offense, concentrating on that position. So there's just not that level of expertise. And like during Bill Belichick press conferences, he would always start off the Wednesday press conference going down the entire opposing team. You talk about Justin Herbert. You talk about the Chargers' third string running back. You talk about all the offensive linemen, all the weapons, go throughout the whole defense. Jerod Mayo tries to do that, but it's just like a lot more broad. He focuses on like one or two things. This week it was Derwin James. He loves Derwin James, but it's just not as precise as Bill Belichick was.
Doug, there's rumors now out there that I think recently somebody had to come out and say from the organization, oh yeah, Jerod Mayo's not on the hot seat. We're keeping him. But then now there's rumors that supposedly Mike Vrabel is interested in the Patriots job if it comes open. What are you kind of hearing from that aspect? I mean, does it seem like Jerod Mayo's job is safe? And especially with all the hiccups that they've had, I mean, going from Bill Belichick to Mike Vrabel last year, I thought would have softened the blow.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But you go to a guy that in Jerod Mayo that, I mean, we, like you just said, we have no clue. He's only been coaching for a little bit. Do you feel like there could be a possibility that they go to Mike, or do you feel like that the organization is behind Jerod?
I think they're behind him. I think that last week's close loss to the Bills definitely helped that. Like, let's say if last week the Patriots had been blown out like 50-14 or whatever it was, then I think that there would be legitimate questions heading into this week and then heading into week 18 about whether or not Jerod Mayo's job was safe. The fact that they were able to play it so close, the fact they were able to get out to an actual early lead against the Bills, a lot of those questions have kind of dissipated a little bit. But no, I mean, I do think that Vrabel would be interested in the job if it did come open. It just doesn't look like that's going to happen at this point. And I do think that they probably would have been a little bit more successful this year if Mike Vrabel was the head coach, just because he is more experienced. He probably would have brought along a lot better staff. But it does seem like the Patriots are going to give Mayo at least a second season. Certainly would not be surprised if there's some change in coordinators, though, because I don't know if you guys saw the clip during the game against the Cardinals. They actually showed ownership after it was a 5-yard loss by Antonio Gibson. And Robert Kraft is like, you can read his lips talking about offensive play calling. Jonathan Kraft, his son, who's the president of the team, is saying the play calling is terrible. That's what it looks like he's saying by the lip reader. So like, Alex Van Pelt certainly seems like he's on the hot seat as the offensive coordinator. DeMarcus Covington is a first-year defensive coordinator, and the defense last year was top 10 in EPA per play. This year, they're 30th. Like, they've taken a huge step backwards. They've lost some pieces. Some guys have been injured, but still really no excuse to be that bad. And Jerod Mayo is supposed to be a defensive head coach since he was a linebackers coach. So I do think there's going to be some changeover in staff, maybe in coordinators. But Mayo does seem like he's going to be safe for next year.
What do you think going into this weekend? What are some of the complications that you see with? Is that a Diet Coke?
It is a Diet Coke. Yep.
Oh, look
there
at
you go.
Dan, show him your can.
Flying the friendly skies here, my guy.
Hell yeah!
Trying to get Coca-Cola to sponsor us, dude.
There, I'll do my part.
There you go.
There you go. What do you see with this weekend? I know that they have some injuries. I think center is a hot spot. I know they're missing some other guys. Just what do you kind of see into this game this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think that stopping Herbert is going to be tough. They did a good job against Josh Allen last week, though. So I think that's at least a good first step.
Doug, he has a hurt elbow and a hurt hand. And I'm like...
Allen couldn't feel his hand for like 10 minutes of the game. So that certainly probably plays a big part. But no, they've got a decent secondary. Christian Gonzalez is good. I don't think he'll be matched up against Ladd McConkey in this game. I think that'll probably be either Jonathan Jones or Isaiah Bolden, something like that. So that's one area of concern. I think McConkey could certainly go off in this game. But yeah, the Patriots starting center, Ben Brown, who actually he signed from the Raiders practice squad on Wednesday of week 6. His first practice with the team was on Thursday on no sleep, and he started the game 3 days later. So, and he's been starting at center ever since. Like, wild story. He was actually the Patriots' best offensive lineman in that game as well, which first of all speaks to his ability to adjust so quickly, but also to how bad the rest of the offensive line is. So he's got a concussion. Looks like he's not going to play. So it's either going to be Cole Strange, who was the Patriots' 2022 first-round pick, who has yet to play on an offensive snap this year because he's coming back from a knee injury last year, or Lacita Smith, who was signed off the Packers practice squad. But, I mean, that offensive line has been in shambles all year. The tackles kind of, like one game, the left tackle is the worst player on the line. Next game, the right tackle is the worst player on the line. So looks like this could be definitely a game where Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa could feast on the Patriots offensive line. And Drake May's going to have to get rid of the ball quickly in this one.
Do you have anything, Dan?
One thing I did want to ask, what do you think is the best way for the Chargers to attack this defense? Since like you said, their defense was top 10 and now they've dropped off into 30th. Do you think there's a position group that's a weak link? Do you think it's a particular player? Like what do you see on the defense that would be like the weakest link?
It's all over the place, honestly. Like the run defense has been pretty atrocious all year, which it's crazy because I think after week 1, Jerod Mayo was like really taking a victory lap after they beat the Bengals. And I hate to crap on him too much, but he's like, we'll always be able to run the ball. We'll always be able to run, stop the run and all these things. And it just has not come true to a large degree. And last week was another week where I think they were allowing 6 or 7 yards per carry. James Cook went on 2 big runs. So it's definitely big runs that the Patriots are allowing. Their front 7 has been pretty weak all year. Devon Godshaw should be better, but he's kind of the only guy on the line who can really stop the run. Christian Barmore is now back out for the season with blood clots. Their starting middle linebacker, Juwan Bentley, was out for the season after week 2. They've had Christian Ellis, who is primarily a special teamer, and Jelani Tavai filling in those roles, but they really have a hard time kind of setting the line, setting they're not nearly as experienced as Juwan Bentley is in that role. And then even at safety, Jabril Peppers missed last week. He's missed most of the season on the commissioner's exempt list, but now he's injured. Kyle Duggar's been dealing with an ankle injury all year that's really limited him. He's been missing a lot of tackles. So really the run defense as a whole. And then also they've had some trouble stopping tight ends as well. So those are the 2 big areas.
Well, that's an area that the Chargers are kind of lacking.
Yeah, lacking in
tight end.
Yeah. A little bit of both
Yeah.
right there, just because, as you could tell, the offensive line is basically 2 tackles who you're like, okay, we're cooking with some gasoline. And then you head back to the wood stove, with the inside 3. So that's been a problem. But, one thing, that I am curious about to ask you, your expertise, you think the fall off defensively has been injuries, or you think it's a little bit of, the inexperience? Because like you said, if a lot of these coordinators are first year with the first year head coach, that kind of, has to be tough for anybody, because usually usually I would assume, first year head coach, you want to have experienced coordinators, you know what I mean, to kind of bring that to the staff and everything else. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you think has been the biggest reason for the fall off defensive? Because, I'll even say this before, my bad, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent.
No,
I'll even say this in Belichick's, final years, even though they weren't very good, their defense was always, you were going to expect something pretty heavy hitting and everything else. So
yeah, absolutely. And that defense did a pretty good job of stopping the Chargers the last couple of times that they played.
Yeah.
I know they won last year, but it was 6-0, obviously, like you said. But I would boil it down mostly to coaching, because as much as you can say that guys have been injured, guys have been out, in all, they've got a pretty talented defense, but you lose Bill Belichick as the head coach and you lose Steve Belichick as your defensive play caller. And then you're left with Jerod Mayo, who's a linebackers coach last year, and their defensive coordinator is DeMarcus Covington, who a lot of people have noted that usually a defensive line coach doesn't go from being a defensive line coach to a coordinator. You kind of stop off at either a linebacker or safety or something, just to allow you to deal with some more groups. So I do think it's mostly the coaching and the inexperience of the coaching, and losing, like you said, probably the best defensive head coach of all time in Bill Belichick.
Yeah, for
and
real.
Your defensive play caller. And Jerod Mayo and Steve Belichick were really sharing the defensive coordinator roles from 2019 to 2023. But Mayo was the guy leading the meetings. Steve Belichick was the guy calling defensive plays. From 2019 to 2023, the Patriots were first in EPA per play on defense, number 1. They had the best by that metric. And like I said earlier, they're 30th now. So I think that's most of it. I will say that there are some excuses. You lose Juwan Bentley, who's your middle linebacker. That hurts. Jabril Peppers gets arrested for assault and drug charges, misses I think 8-9 weeks of the season. Then even since he's been back, he's been injured. Kyle Duggar dealing with the ankle injury. Christian Barmore missed most of the season with blood clots. You're losing a lot of guys in there, but at the same time, there's enough startable, talented pieces where you shouldn't be 30th. I can understand dropping off from like 8th to 20th, 8th to 15th, something like that.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be dropping all the way down to the bottom of the league.
Well, Doug, the drama with Matthew Judon earlier this year, just what was that? How big of a hit was that for the locker room, especially with all the stuff that was going on?
Yeah, it was interesting. I think ultimately the Patriots played it pretty smart. Elliott Wolf has certainly had some misses this offseason or last offseason in free agency in the draft, but he handled that situation pretty well by trading him to the Falcons for a 3rd round pick, because Judon really hasn't been that great for the Falcons this season. And Judon missed most of last season with an injury as well, but he was a defensive leader. He was a big vocal leader in that locker room. So I think that certainly hurts. The other thing too, is that I keep mentioning him, Juwan Bentley, not exactly a household name, but he is a defensive captain. He was the biggest vocal leader on defense. So that hurts a lot. And on offense, David Andrews got lost for the season, I think around the same time. It was either week 2 or 3 with a shoulder injury. And he is like the offensive captain. He's the guy who's won multiple Super Bowls. He's the real like offensive leader. So you lose your offensive leader, you lose your defensive leader, you lose Bill Belichick, both as a head coach and in the front office. It's just, there's kind of a leadership void on the Patriots right now. And that's another one of the big reasons why they're heading in this game 3-12.
And the biggest thing is too, oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the biggest thing too, you lost that, Husky, who was the best GM in the league, apparently, sitting up there at the computer and all that stuff. That was
I know you lose Nike the dog. I know he's the guy.
I couldn't think of the name. Yeah,
I forgot that was 2020. Actually, he had a pretty decent draft that year. They got Michael Wenu, they got Anthony Jennings, Josh Uche, Kyle Duggar. So that's a big loss as well for sure.
Doug, are you excited to cover Travis Hunter next year?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, honestly, I don't know what he like. It's an interesting discussion because, like, is he a full-time cornerback who moonlights at wide receiver? Is he a full-time wide receiver who plays in like dime defense? I think it's almost easier to be a starting cornerback who's kind of a gadget player on offense.
That's what
vice
I've
versa.
heard is going to be his best.
But at the same time, it's like whoever drafts him, you kind of want to put him in where you need him the most. And if it's the Patriots, you probably need him more at wide receiver than you do at cornerback.
Him and Christian Gonzalez would be nasty, though.
It really would. It would be nasty. But at the same time, Drake May might be like, can we get this guy on offense? They're
gonna get T. Higgins. They're gonna get T. Higgins in free agency.
You get T. Higgins, and maybe you could use Travis Hunter on 3rd down on offense.
Some teams are going to offer T 20 to 25. The Patriots, I think, are going to offer him 30.
Yeah. I mean, they need to, and they've got the most cap space in the NFL. Like, if any team can afford it, it's them. And they really can't come out of this next offseason being like, oh, well, we've still got $50-60 million or whatever it is. Like, they basically have to use every penny just honestly to appease the fan base at this point.
Yeah.
There you go. Operating in the green, baby. Always.
Exactly.
It's been 23 minutes. Doug, we appreciate you. Dan, go ahead and ask him what you want to ask him.
Oh, I do. I want to ask you seriously. I've been kind of waiting for this part of it because I have so many questions. Like, I'll start first going back a little bit and then kind of coming back to the present. But my biggest thing, because I mean, you've been there. So like with the dynasty and all that, like, I just don't buy the whole Bill Belichick is, the Antichrist and everything else. And he just was, he was just, the bad guy on the team. Everybody, jumped into closets to avoid him in the hallway or whatever. Like, you because like, I'm a big believer in the sense that like, guys like him, guys like Jordan, guys like Kobe, like those guys who they call assholes. It's not that they're I shouldn't say that. How can I say it? More driven. Sorry, driven. I just think they have a drive that just is firing on all cylinders at all times. Like there's no break. You know what I mean?
I think I agree with you for the most part. Like, I think that it's possible that Bill could have been more personable in the hallway to people. Like, 100%. But in the grand scheme of things, like, he won 6 Super Bowls. So it's there's some give and take there. You accept the fact that he's maybe not the most friendly, personable guy when he can lead you to that extent. I think that the reason why he wasn't as personable, like everything was done for a reason, if he thought that And he's like, I do really genuinely think that he was just always in his mind, always thinking about the opponent, thinking about the way that he could like exploit their weaknesses, all these different things. And yeah, I mean, I think that the picture that they painted of him in the Dynasty documentary and the, you know, how they've kind of done him dirty after the season, I do think that a lot of those things are unfair. And the Patriots fan base certainly agrees with that as well, because at this point, I think that the grand majority of them are still probably more Team Belichick than Team Patriots at this point. And it certainly hurts that that's 5 years after a lot of them were Team Brady over Team Patriots after that one as well. So they've certainly taken a lot of L's over the last, 5 years or something. We'll see how this new regime does. I know the Patriots fans are really happy about Jerod Mayo, but yeah, for Bill Belichick, like he certainly was a certain way. And I never got to know him very well based on how he was with the media, but like I said, he won 6 Super Bowls, took them to 9, I think, or 8.
They had 20 years of dominance.
Yep.
Like, he's not going to be Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean? Like, no one expects him to be. Like, my God, what are we even talking about? Personally, me being on the West Coast and a Charger fan, like, that to me was crazy, because I'm like, I respect the guy, even though, obviously, how many Super Bowls did he rob from? Pick any team on the AFC, basically, or the NFC. How many Super Bowls didn't he rob from? A lot of people. But, the way they portrayed him, and then they kind of, even at the, Tom Brady Rose, kind of the same thing. And I was like, dude, like, stop with the melodrama. Like, especially when Kraft was like, oh, Tommy was in my office crying, and like it's his grandson or something. I'm like, dude, just take it easy. Like, I thought that was a little extra to me. But, moving forward kind of now, but you're right, though. They did kind of mishandle both exits between Brady and Belichick. That's kind of crazy. But, like, I'm really curious. Again, you covered him for, however many years you've been covering the team. But, I'm curious to, kind of wonder, how successful do you think he's going to be at, now that he's in North Carolina in college? And also, what adjustments do you think he's going to make, if he makes any? Because, I mean, we all know Bill Belichick. He's a dog, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's not going to change for some, snot-nosed 18-year-old or whatever else, if he didn't change for what possibly, arguably, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the league. So,
no, for sure. I mean, I think that he almost does. He's gonna have to change a little bit, because you're already seeing what they had, the 4-star quarterback recruit who came to the UNC basketball game with Bill, and there's like, the photo shoot with those guys, or like arm in arm after, like, that's not necessarily something that you would see from him after they drafted a player or something like that, So I think that he does have to be a little bit kinder to these players. Otherwise, they're going to transfer. Like, these guys aren't on contract. So you do have to be a little bit different. I think he'll be a great coach. I think that he'll probably bring UNC to relevancy. I am curious to see how long he sticks around. Like, if the Cowboys or Raiders or some other team comes calling after the 2025 season, I don't think he would hesitate to go back to the NFL. I think that this is a good opportunity for him to have a job, like have a good job, do what he wants to do, but then also be available to go over to the NFL if it comes down to it, rather than spending another year in the media and hoping that an NFL team calls him, because I just don't think you want to do that again. But the one thing I am curious about, I know that scouting is a little bit different in college, but Bill was already a guy who kind of struggled to scout college players and project them into the NFL. I'm really curious to see how he does scouting high school players and projecting them to college, because that seems even more difficult to me. I know that it's
100%.
Maybe a little bit easier with the whole 4 or 5-star recruit, all that kind of stuff. And he can pull from the transfer portal, which certainly helps. But he's got to have a great scouting staff. He's got to rely on those guys. I know his first hire was Mike Lombardi. I'm not sure how he'll do in that GM role. I don't even know what a college GM.
Oh, exactly. I thought the same thing. Yeah. I was like, what?
I know. And talk about a guy who's like, Mike Lombardi has no experience in the college game. So
I know. Yeah.
I know they want to bring that NFL culture and all that stuff, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I do think that he's reportedly going to bring around Steve Belichick. My Washington Huskies lose Steve Belichick, but he's going to go over to UNC. I think he'll do a good job there. We'll see who he gets as an offensive coordinator, all these things, but he's still a great coach. And I think he's going to do a good job, especially competing against some of those ACC coaches. I think that will be his biggest, mismatch, is just that he is such a great, experienced head coach who's going to be ready for everything that these teams can throw at him.
Dan,
And I'm sure
he's become Two-Face now with the sun.
I know.
He can't fight it off anymore.
I know it said
Ask your final question. Doug's ready for it. I know what you want to ask him.
about the
Go
girlfriend.
ahead.
No,
No, you can,
I don't
you
want to
can
put
ask-
him on the hot spot
No,
anyway.
I think
I'm in
Doug,
good.
are
I'm in
you
good
fine
shape now with the sun. By the way,
There you go.
Okay.
I am
There
fighting
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Doug, are you okay if he asks you something wacky or no?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought it was hilarious. I saw a meme. All right, I'll bring in my meme lore. That's what I do. I'm a meme guy. I saw a meme that was hilarious. That was like, oh, all these people making fun of her saying Belichick's doing this to get his son a head coaching gig. You guys are not seeing the big picture. He's trying to get his girlfriend into grad school for free, and I thought that was hilarious. I seriously wonder, like, just obviously I don't know Belichick also, but just wondering how he plays like 4D chess. Maybe he got with the 24-year-old to say, oh, can I appeal to these people? Can I
Right.
recruit them eventually if I go into college?
I mean, his kids aren't college age anymore, so he's got to relate to them somehow. So now,
Exactly,
at least
exactly.
He's got the young girlfriend. She can introduce him to all the social media and memes and all those
Exactly.
things.
The Insta face.
Exactly.
One
Now he's
last
on
thing-
some of those, but
Oh,
yeah.
that was hilarious. One thing I
It-
did want to say,
yeah.
I agree with you though. Like, this is a perfect way to continue keeping his name relevant in the football world, like a tryout. Like, I said on the show at the start of this season, I was like, I just don't understand, the Raiders, the Titans, some of these guys.
Yeah.
You pass up on one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach of all time, Pete Carroll and Mike Vrabel, and look how their seasons are going. Like, I think 100% one of these guys, it's just a matter of time, are going to take a chance on them, because I personally just didn't understand, like, how you're going to pass up, first off, two legends in Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, and then obviously Mike Vrabel, who's up and coming, who's been doing a good job. So I agree with you right there. I was mind blown right there.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Titans season, like you said, that's not working out. Panthers, we'll see how that goes, but they're not working out. It's like Falcons have been a little bit better than the other teams, but yeah, it was wild to me that every team, 7 teams passed over Bill Belichick last year, and now, like, obviously he kind of saw the writing on the wall this year too, that he probably wasn't going to get a job. He was reportedly reaching out to the Jets, which was
That's
shocking.
hilarious to me.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
hilarious to me.
he wouldn't even go in the Jets locker room when they did like a 2 Bills documentary on him and Parcells, and he was like, "No, I won't even go in there." Like, he would always fire shots at the Jets. So I think that showed how badly he wanted an NFL job, and it probably just wasn't coming. So yeah, he can do this for a year, maybe a 2. We'll see what happens.
I just hope he wins a natty. I would love that, just to stick it to everybody.
Hey, I mean, with the playoffs now, like, if they win the ACC, then obviously they get
all
they
you
get
need is a
shot.
chance.
So it'll be fun.
Doug, two final questions for me. Again, we appreciate you so much for jumping on with us. What is the national perspective, or like you have a national like bird's eye view to all this? What is the perception of Jim Harbaugh returning, him being with the Chargers, and now basically they're one step away from making the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all positive. Like, it's been, I think that he's doing what a lot of people expected him to do with the Chargers, like bring them back, get the best out of Justin Herbert. I know they're not necessarily passing the ball as much as they usually do, but I think he's using him correctly. I think that, at least for the Patriots, like, they really respect the Chargers run game as well. It's a well-coached team. It's an experienced head coach. And for me, it's just great to see him back in the NFL, because I do think he is a great coach. I think he's deserved to be back in there. So I think that's the view that I'm seeing. I am kind of curious for you guys. I'll ask you guys a question too.
Yeah.
So Gus Edwards is out for this game. J.K. Dobbins, is he going to play? If not, is it going to be Vidal? Who's going to be at running back for the Chargers?
It seems like it's going to be geared towards. Now, I'm not allowed to speak about injuries that are not my own. I'm not qualified, but it does seem like it's going to be J.K. They wouldn't have done the Gus Edwards thing if J.K. isn't ready to go. I personally don't think, because Hassan Haskins, he had a great play on last Thursday.
Yeah, that's about it.
But before that, the other time that they had given him the rock, he fumbled against the Falcons. And Kamani Vidal is a guy that I think if they use him as a third back, he'd add some juice. The only problem is he doesn't play special teams the way Hassan's good on special teams. Yeah. So they usually if it's JK, Gus, and Hassan, those are the 3 guys, and Kamani sits and doesn't play. But I think if they use all 3, they could be special with all 3 of them. But I think with Gus not playing, that just means that JK is ready to go, which
Probably ready to
I think it was kind of smart that they kind of put him on IR for the 4 weeks, let him rest up, get ready for this playoff run, because they're starting to get healthy right now with the playoffs right around the corner. And I feel like if they do beat the Patriots on Saturday, next week we'll either see a limited one drive from Herbert and other guys, or one quarter, and then that's it. Because we all know what happened 2 years ago when Mike.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. They did that shit to him 2 years in a row. Don't even say it.
Brutal.
I cannot believe wide receiver screens to, a 6'5", 50-50 ball type of guy. It's not like he has, Doug, it's not like he has damn wheels. He's not Tyreek Hill. They're trying to get him killed out here 2 years ago. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Doug, final one for me. Favorite Bill Belichick story?
Oh, man. There was, he didn't do this very often, but I had asked some question about like why his in-season additions wound up better than like the off-season additions. It was some year where like a lot of their free agent signings hadn't been doing well, but a lot of the guys that they acquired in season had been playing well. And he gave a decent answer to it, but not a lot. He didn't say a lot about it. But then after that, the PR guy for the Patriots, Stacey James, came back to my cubicle at the time, and he was like, "Oh, Bill wants to talk to you out in the hall." And so then he went for like 20 more minutes on it, just like talking about, why they did this, why they made this move, why this guy didn't work out, how they could have traded this guy, didn't do this. So really cool to just kind of, hear from him for a really long time, get that one-on-one. It was all like off the record at the time and everything like that, but it was still really cool that he took the time out when he could have been in meetings with players, or, just off by himself to take that time to do that. So that was really great. He sent a kind message, after the season, which was good. And I didn't have a lot of those individual times with Bill Belichick just because no one really did on the beat. He didn't want to get too close to anyone, but it was really cool for him to do that. And it was also just one other interesting thing. Like, sometimes he would send out Christmas cards during the holiday season too. Like, it wasn't always. I don't know if it was depending on like.
I know. I was about to say
how well the season was going, like how well the media treated him. I don't know what the rhyme or reason was, but it was always cool to like, go to your mailbox and see like one Patriot Place on it and be like, "Oh man, we got the Bill Belichick Christmas card this year." So that was always cool as well. I think I've saved all of those because
I would.
Just say like, best to you, or like, and it was really cool to get those.
Dude, you must feel like Charlie Bucket when you get those. Like, you got the golden ticket. Like, it's
I know, right?
It's one of those moments. Doug, I can't wait to see you having to go down to UNC to go do a sit down with him and Lombardi and everybody. And Doug, we have homework for you. Yes. We need you to figure out what a GM does in college football.
Exactly.
You let us know, and then you'll jump back on. But again, we appreciate. This is our guy, Doug Kyed. Follow him on Instagram, on Twitter. He is the best. Doug, thank you so much. We'll definitely have you on further down the line. We talked about it before we jumped on here, but we can't wait to have you back on. And again, thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Absolutely, Fernando, Dan. It's always a pleasure. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you later, Doug. Thank you.
See you later.
That is Doug Kyed. He's a compa. We love that guy. He is the best.
The best.
A lot of information there for you guys that he gave us. So definitely a lot to go off. Dan, 10 a.m. game on Saturday. That's
thank God, so we can get it out of the way.
I thought it was so funny that Doug said, "I don't know what the Patriots did to earn a Saturday game against the Chargers, but hey, here we are." So that's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, in my opinion, to see what these two teams are going to bring, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. This has trap game written all over it, and these fools just better not fall for it, because I think that's the biggest thing right there, is that you got to come into this game more than anything trying to just build momentum to go into the playoffs. And I think, he even alluded to that they're not doing too well. They got a lot of injuries, a lot of inexperienced coaching, which it's interesting to me. The defensive coordinator is a first-year coordinator, and Greg Roman obviously has, such a long history of coaching in the NFL. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup to see really how one plays off the other.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, especially with everything that's gonna be. Oh wow, Gunter has been named ESPN's male wrestler of the year.
There you go.
Definitely, I
Gunta.
thought it'd be Cody Rhodes.
No.
Dan, a little bit before we head out again, thank you to Doug Kyed. That dude is he is
machine. I love I love how like that's how you could tell the Patriots are having a bad year. That all we wanted to talk about was Bill Belichick. That's the only thing I wanted to know, honestly.
Oh my god, I definitely wanted to see what he had to say about that. But
dude, I can't imagine covering like that. Must have been so crazy covering him day in and day out for however many years he has, and all he gets is the we're on to New York. Yep,
dude. Doug would tell I'm telling you, like when Doug and I would talk about it, CD Lamb is reportedly out for the year, according to Adam Schefter.
That doesn't even matter. Their year's been done, so it doesn't.
For all
matter.
You fantasy people out there, Dan, what does this say about your quarterback? That it says right here, quarterbacks with the highest drop percentage, highest percentage of drop.
You need to save this for Tuesday so I can bring it up to this scumbag. It's unbelievable, dude. How much they try and disrespect the son of. Just don't show the cheese eating bastard. I don't need to get any more shit from him because his boy's number one. But it just goes to show you, really, they have not seen the son of Odin firing on all cylinders yet because he's had so many drops, dude. Just wait till he gets some weapons over here. He's going to take the league by storm, and he's going to drop for 5K again, 30 touchdowns and everything else. I'm not even worried about it. Like, that's why I keep telling people, all these little gnats in my ear trying to talk shit about the son of Odin. Son of Odin's 101, baby. He's going to be one of the best in the league. He is one of the best in the league. So I'm not even worried about it. I'm telling you, the Chargers would have beat the Ravens probably if we would have just caught 3 or 4 more balls to change the momentum of the game. Like, it's unbelievable.
Dan, so for this weekend, out running back Gus Edwards with an ankle injury, out Denzel Perryman with a groin.
That's fine.
Jim did say that he re-aggravated it. Out Trey Pipkins. He was a DMP for 2 days, then he was a limited today, but he is out. Full J.K. Scott, or off the injury report, Cam Hart concussion. He practiced the last 2 days.
That one worries me a little bit.
Ready to go. Tito Banya is good to go. J.K. Scott, punter, good to go. Questionable tight end Will Dissly, but he was a full participant today. Running back J.K. Dobbins, questionable, full practice on Thursday. Tight end Hayden Hurst, DMP with illness. So he's
that
questionable.
guy's been pissing me off though.
And DB Elijah Molden, he was limited all week with the knee. He is questionable for this weekend as well. And then with them putting Marcus Maye on IR, they're down to safety. They brought in Eddie Jackson, so we'll see if tomorrow. I think they have until tomorrow to make by 1 p.m. So by 1 p.m. tomorrow, if they brought up Eddie Jackson, that means that Elijah Molden is heavily questionable. But they're on their way right now. I think the Chargers already left for New England, so they're on their way right now.
Good, acclimated to the weather a little bit.
If the Chargers win, they're in the playoffs. And again,
baby.
The Steelers, what are you going to do? You're going to go up.
I'm going to cash in my bet with that cheese-eating bastard.
What do? You go up and you pull it down?
Oh, yeah. You grab the W and you pull it down. Just pull it down. Just reach out, pull it in. Pull it in, baby.
Now let's do the injury report for the Patriots.
It's probably
out.
Long.
Cornerback Marcus Jones did not practice all week with a hip. Here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players questionable.
Jeez Louise.
Center Ben Brown, who Doug just spoke about, did not practice all week with a concussion, questionable. Safety Kyle Duggar, ankle quadricep, did not practice the first 2 days, limited on Thursday, questionable. Curtis Jacobs, linebacker, concussion, limited all week, questionable. Linebacker and Fernie Jennings, knee. Today, first day he popped up on the list, limited, questionable. Linebacker, wow, dude, there's 5 linebackers on here. Titus Leo,
no wonder he said the front 7 in the run game is not very good.
Titus Leo today was the first day he was limited in practice, questionable. Jabril Peppers with an ankle injury, questionable. Cole Strange with a knee injury, limited, questionable. Sino Taki knee today got injured, showed up on the injury list, limited, questionable. Linebacker Jalani
My God.
Tavai, groin, limited all week, questionable. Tackle Caden Wallace, ankle, limited all week, questionable. So he's on IR. So he's designated for return is Wallace. So they have a bunch of players that are on the injury list. So we'll see. That's a lot of people. So a lot of people on there. Hey, and by the way, we're sorry we had Doug on, so we didn't get to everybody. Robert, D, Ange, Josue, King Rye, Ivan, Tay,
Boltillo,
Anthony Ray, Matthew, everybody. Thank you guys so much for jumping on with us. You guys are the best. Everybody, pound the like button right now. Please pound that like button.
Yeah, exactly.
We definitely are excited.
Pound the like button, leave a comment, be a Compa, tell a Compa.
Next week, we're also going to have a guest on. We're going to have 2 guests on for next show. Yeah, we're going to have 2 guests. So make sure you guys tune in next week for the thank you, Robert D. We appreciate it.
Robert D. Sorry, I got to say
next week they play the Raiders, but we're gonna have some fun on the show. We're gonna get a reporter on, and then we're gonna get a special guest on
the
after.
last week of the season, baby.
Yeah.
We're popping champagne. It's actually been a good year, thank God.
We're excited for this. Dan, let me ask you on this play. So get closer.
Okay.
I do need to ask you, what do you see on this play from the offensive line?
Oh God.
This is against the Broncos.
Let's see this.
Oh, hold on.
It's all right. That's right. Oh yeah. This is the type of shit I'm talking about though. Like go back real quick. Hold on. Where's the who comes in free? So this is the only thing I don't understand, right? Because when it comes to protections, there's full slides, there's split protections. Because right there, go back to like pre-snap. Go back to pre-snap. Go back. Pre-snap when they're pointing. Go back a little further. Because if you notice, right, the running back goes the other way, right? And they're pointing. So I don't know if the protection is trying to bring Bozeman to the right, but then they split up. They split up open. You see that?
So Bozeman looks like he's pointing at 51, and it looks like Pipkins is pointing at 38 or 48 or 58.
And I don't know. The only thing I don't know is where the back is supposed to go. Because in all honesty, this almost looks like a split protection to me, obviously, because 2 guys slide one way and the other 3 the other way. I think the running back might be wrong, or it's Bozeman. I just don't know which. Because I remember seeing this live, and I was like, they just messed up this protection. I just don't know, again, if the running back is supposed to insert to that A-gap or if Bozeman was supposed to slide over. And, it's just stupid things like this that have cost them all year, And, I just wish Son of Odin would just right there. Just get rid of it. Don't even worry about it. Throw it at Jake or whoever the hell the running back is. Throw it at his ankles. Don't even take the hit. Don't even take the hit. But, I think that's the biggest problem because the only thing I don't know, is where the running back was supposed to go on that protection because that was what I didn't understand. Like, how are we going to leave the A-gap wide open? If anything, protect inside out always if they're sending more rushes. I think it was 6-on-6, but they had a little stunt and everything else, and I think they had a miscommunication. So that's the type of stuff that gets people killed, dude. You can't have that. Especially we got to protect the Son of Odin at all costs.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Dan.
I'm working something. Go Dogs! Go Dogs! Not the coolest thing out in the middle. Yes. It's kind of like you got to be there. It's just Jonah in the middle of the field. Embrace it.
He's one of the boys, dude. I don't know why people hate on my boy so much. He's one of the boys. It's honestly hilarious. I love the Son of Odin, baby. I love the Son of Odin. He's one of the boys. He's a leader. I just don't understand all this, vitriol for him and hatred, but it just makes me laugh.
I'm like, okay, so you look at this. Now, let me show you this play. Let's see. Look at this play. We'll get to questions and everything right now. So this is the all 22 of the Darius Davis.
Oh, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the only thing that sometimes I just don't like, besides the fact that hang this in the damn Mona Lisa because my boy, hang this in the Louvre because my boy can make every type of throw.
Look how many guys McConkey had on him.
Oh, I know, 3.
Yeah, 3.
And he slung it with some 300-pounder on his back. The son of Odin can do it all, baby. God of lightning. But this is the only thing. Go back a little bit. Go back. This is the only thing I don't like about Rashawn Slater sometimes. Yeah, I just want to see Slater. This is the thing I don't like about him sometimes. Just right there. Freeze it. Go back a little further. Go back a little further. He never readjusts his body positioning when he gets engaged. Go back a little further. Right where they're about to make contact. There you go. I'll tell you when to pause it. Right there. Look how much lower he is than Rashawn Slater. And then play it a little bit. And I'll tell you to pause it. Play it. Look, he doesn't adjust his body. Go back or pause. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Look how he's leaning. Right now, if that some bitch would throw him forward, like press and then shed, or strike and shed, right? He's on the ground looking for turf worms, dude. That's the biggest problem I have sometimes with him, is that he's a leaner. He doesn't adjust his body positioning. Obviously more often than not, he's been okay. He's been fine because they don't realize to just shed. He's leaning forward. But like, that is bad body positioning to me. I don't like that at all. I would rather have him, because look at that right there. His knee's fully extended. If he shucks him right now, he's going to be in the dirt. He's standing straight up. Like, that is bad body positioning.
Watch Bozeman on this play.
Let's see. Oh, he just fell for the okie doke. Jesus Christ, my God almighty. He was picking berries over there in the ground while this guy got around him. That's the problem. It looks like he's heavy-footed. Can't redirect. That's a big thing, offensive lineman. Like, offensive linemen, you need to be agile because you have to be able to push off and redirect and everything else. So, look, he's standing straight up too. Jesus Christ, he looks like a drunken Irishman in a bar or something, just stumbling about out there.
What a throw. Holy crap.
This kind of Odin, baby. He does it all. He makes it happen.
What a throw. Let me see. I know I had some other stuff for you. Okay, no, I already went through that.
What else are we missing?
No, not this one. Listen to what
gonna piss me off now. I'm trying to have a good day today.
No. Listen to what this guy says on
battery
here.
Over here. Hold on. Running out of battery.
Their leading receiver is a slot little white guy from Georgia. They have no outside threat. For the majority of the season, their starting running back is at home injured. So it's just like these arguments are done. They're over. Now, if you want to argue, like, can he ever win a Super Bowl? Can he beat these guys? Okay. But this argument, is he a good player or this guy's really overrated? It's just like, you don't know fucking anything. I
like this guy.
We'll just stop talking about football.
I like this guy. We've been saying on this program the whole year, like, it's unbelievable. Like, I just don't like it's like we've already seen him elevate guys. You know what I mean? Like, he made DeAndre Carter have his best receiving year he was a special teamer. He was a specialist for returning, and he was our best receiver with the son of Odin. Like, what are we even talking about? The guy can sling it with anybody out there. I totally agree with this guy. Like, if you look at the offense as a whole, the only bright spot really are at 3 positions. Both tackles, quarterback, everything else is kind of up in the air, and we're going to figure that out at some point or another because this has been a tryout year, and they're going to see next time how they're going to trim the fat. But I mean, it's just ridiculous. The whole, narrative against them, I just don't understand it. I don't understand why they have such a, chip on the shoulder against Herbert. It's probably because he doesn't interview with them, and he probably doesn't want to hang out with them or any of those weirdos. So I don't know what it is, but that's 100% the fact that, oh, God, now you bring up this asshole.
Tight end, 1 running back, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. But the Chargers, you might see 13 personnel. You might see 3 tight ends and 1 back. The Chargers play a brand of football that makes your April OTAs and your June and July workouts all useless. All you have to practice for the Chargers is that Wednesday and that Thursday practice, and oftentimes that's not enough. That's why, James, I suggest the Chargers are scary. They play a brand of football that's incredibly unique.
Get that shit off the screen. He's a fair weather. He's a dipshit. I don't want to hear from him either. All of a sudden, we're a scary team and all this other crap. When he was talking about the son of Odin, being a social media quarterback. Then the son of Odin told him to stick it where the sun don't shine. All of a sudden, he's a little bit nicer on TV, isn't he? All of a sudden, he wants to use my boy's name to get a boost the ratings or something else. You know, it's just crazy to me. Some of these guys, man, are just absolutely wild. By the way, I love what Jorge says here. Merry Dan Miss, guys. Ha! Shout out, Jorge. Appreciate you. Merry Dan Miss to you, too, my guy. Jay, you're on fire right there. I like that comment.
To the very end.
This guy, Jesus.
Second half, by the way, Jesus. And he is working with return guys, a first-round receiver that can't catch, a defensive lineman, a backup running back. Herbert in the second half, 11 of 15, 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 142.8. Jesus. I mean, it is just,
so what is this? He's right. Still don't like him, but he has a podcast on top of the TV show.
Yeah.
He just lets his hair down in the podcast and lets it fly, or what?
I guess so.
I don't need him to tell me what my eyes already know. Son of Odin's the real deal, baby. It's as real as they get.
But people question him, Dan.
I'm telling you, just wait till next year, dude. Just wait till next year when they get some actual weapons. You know, this team is going to be scary. I just hope they can do it, because if they can't do it with Harbaugh, man, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all.
It will be, Dan.
Bright days ahead. You know, I think they're going to beat the Patriots this weekend, by the way, while we're in here. Smash the like button. I think that guy's a jackass, too. Ivy Leagues don't mean anything anymore. Smash the like button. I think the Chargers are going to win this weekend. You know, I think the most important thing the Chargers need to do this weekend is build momentum, build confidence, you know, going into the playoffs. If the Patriots struggle in the run game, like our good compa Doug said, now you need to be successful this weekend in the run game. Build momentum. It's like a shooter. When you see the first shot drain, that's when you just turn it on and you get hot. That's what they need to do. They need to just see the ball go in and then keep going, dude. Keep going.
Why I mean, and like you said, this is a big weekend. The Chargers can clinch a playoff spot this weekend.
How nice
with a
would
win.
that be?
They don't have to do what they did last weekend, where they have to depend on anybody to win games for them, or a team to lose. This weekend's about them, and I know everybody's gonna, like, you can't overlook the Patriots, because no matter what, they're still a good football team, and
I love what
they're still in the NFL.
Look what Robert D said. Robert M. Where's Robert S. hat? LOL. That's hilarious. By the way, Robert M. going to Slater has fewest pressures of any tackle in the AFC. I'm not saying he's not a good player. All I'm talking about for that play, if that's what you're referencing, is just his technique. His technique sometimes is kind of, you know, it kind of kills him, and it happens sometimes, right? But I'm not doubting that he's a good player.
No, yeah, we're just throwing.
I'm talking about the technique on that play.
Where is it?
What else are you looking for?
This is what Matt Milano and James Cook, they were mic'd up, and hold on, listen to what they said about Drake Maye last week.
Yeah, he's nice. Oh, Maye. Yeah, he's nice.
Drake Maye, and that's what Doug was saying. With the correct coaching, with everything, he could literally be really good if they get him exactly what he needs. He's gonna be he's gonna be a good player.
I thought that video was gonna be one of those. Who are ya? I thought that's where you were going with it. I thought that's where you were going with it. Let's see what else we got. I love it. He's about to massacre some people on Christmas, baby. My God. I love this AI photo stuff. That's pretty good. Could you imagine the nation he would have
It
found?
looks like Mel Gibson in this picture, huh, Dan?
That is glorious right there. That is glorious. You should send me that tweet. I'm going to save that. I like that. I just love the son of Odin, man. I can't get enough. Him, Derwin, these guys, we got some dogs on here. We just got to trim the fat.
That's because Derwin loves you.
Oh, I love Derwin. No, but just the way he plays also.
No, I
like,
know, I know.
I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, he's like Brian Dawkins. If Brian Dawkins was like 6'6" and could maybe move a little bit better or whatever. But like, could you imagine like Derwin in an era where they kind of let you get after and hit the receivers? Like, my God, he would have killed some people.
You know what? We'll get into this with Hilberto on Monday because there is something funny I want to show you. But did you see what the Chargers social media did? They mashed up.
I don't want to see it.
You know the free kick?
Yeah.
They were mashing up all these YouTube content creators or TikTok, and look what they came up with.
Kenny Bang.
What the is a free kick?
I have never seen anything like this in my life.
What the is going on right here?
And it's gonna be.
Oh, he muffed it!
Oh, the Broncos! Oh, time's expired. There is laundry.
Oh, he got ran into. I was about to say.
There's a flag. There's no time. I don't think it'll matter, but
how pissed is that guy?
That's what you get, Jim. Earthworm Jim calling the timeout. You forgot a bad thing could happen to your team too.
And LA will have two
fuck
options.
is that
They can
guy?
either snap the ball, or they can do a free kick for a field goal.
What? What is a free kick? What the is this?
What is happening?
What is this? On my life, I've never seen a like this in my life.
They're saying it's a 57-yard attempt, but there's no line there. Nobody tries to block this.
Kenny Bang it through.
Come on, Dicker! Come on, Dicker! Let's go!
It is good. What the is this rule?
Can someone explain that? What the is that?
Apparently, I just watched the first free kick in football in over 50 years.
When was that a rule? When we started doing that?
So
I've never even heard of that. Never heard of that.
super rare, super situational rule.
We see something new every day in the NFL.
It's like a kickoff. Free for nothing.
And Dicker was money. I love that they put somebody back there to return it, and Dicker was like, hold my beer.
That son of a gun, Jim Harbaugh, foiled me.
That's right. You should shut the hell up, you little stooge. Get back to your basement. Who the hell's that guy, dude? Calling him what type of slander is this? Earthworm? Really?
Dan, before we make all the stuff that we usually
By
talk
the way,
about
shout out to Jorge. Here we go. Regardless of what happens to the Chargers, the Compas are on live and we're all winners. Shout out
we
to you,
appreciate
Jorge.
it, Jorge. Hey,
Shout
guys,
out
don't
to
forget
you.
to smash the like button. It definitely helps us. Dan, here you go.
Let's see this. Oh, here we go.
Can't coach it. I love speedy playmakers that can dominate the game. And I love rookies with no fear. Rookies that play just as good as anybody. It's got me feeling really nice. Guys like Brock Bowers of the Las Vegas. 11 catches, 99 yards. He's the first tight end to ever catch 100 passes as a rookie. He's awesome. Guys like Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. He throws 2 early picks. It doesn't
That one's for you, Frau.
59 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they shred the Philadelphia Eagles. Receivers like Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. 10 catches, 144 yards, and 2 touchdowns. When you need a touchdown late, who you gonna call? Justin Jefferson, baby. Halfbacks like Devon Achane of the Miami Dolphins. 17 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown against the 49ers. 6 catches for 70. I haven't seen speed like this coming out of the backfield since Tony Dorsett. Jonathan Taylor of the
Can I just I would subscribe to Barstool, honestly, if they would let him, kind of commentate on an NFL game uncensored. I would pay money to watch.
I think he did that for the Chargers Broncos game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's there with all the stooges. I just want him by himself reading comments, shitting on
that
people on the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that actually would be funny. I know that. Hold on. Robert.
Exactly, Jorge. Check out the hoodies. The hoodies are great.
Oh, Robert D was asking when we'll get one of Robert D. We will get one of those guys on, maybe 2 of them during the offseason. I think that's going to be the best bet. So we could have a calm down show. And then I want to ask Dave Palais to jump on, because I do want to ask him about the past and because he's been around the team when they were in San Diego for years. So yeah, we'll definitely get those guys on during the offseason. So yeah, you'll see it. And then obviously Josh Palais played quarterback for Nick Saban. So there could be some good questions and stories coming out of that one. So yeah, during the offseason, we're gonna get those guys in here. It's obviously right now, just with the season and how busy we are, it's crazy, but we definitely will. Oh wow. Get your hoodie soon and get an autographed Alberto Manzano Panini card. That's actually pretty funny.
Digging in the back pocket for that one. Yeah, we're gonna let them know about that one. That's
Luis,
hilarious.
thank you so much. Feliz Navidad to you and your family. Definitely appreciate it.
Burger, that's hilarious.
Hold on. Somebody, guys, throw in your predictions. What do you guys think the prediction's gonna be this weekend? I think Ivan
27-10, I think someone put.
Ivan, I think Ivan had 27-10.
I like that. I'm good with that. Just put it away.
Yeah, that's
what I want. Put it away.
I know what you want.
What
you
do I
want. You would want. Oh my God! I just spaced out on his name. Taylor Heineke finishing.
100%.
Finishing the game in the fourth
quarter.
quarter.
100%, dude. Put it away. I like Robert D right here. 31-14. Put it away. Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt.
Fitness is asking, what did you guys think of the 2-point conversions? Fitness, the first one I didn't like just because I thought, and I thought Herbert kind of hesitated on it. I think if he would have hit the hole correctly and hard the way,
yeah,
he would have gotten it.
He was running
only
high.
A couple inches.
Yeah, he was running high.
But why are you making your quarterback do that when he's hurt?
Exactly.
Because you could have risked further injury. But I get it. I mean, that play, and especially because I think they moved Gus Edwards out to what's it called? What do you guys think of going for 2? Oh, in general, not the plays. Fitness, honestly, I definitely think that I'm fine with it. It just depends on the situation. I mean, obviously to start the game, you're not going to go and try and be up 8-0, but I do think in certain situations, like if it's late in the game and let's just say the game would be tied if you kick the field goal or you go for 2, like clear transparency to you guys. I know that there's one story I will not tell, but usually I'll tell you guys a lot of the stuff that we know. I thought, and I remember players told us that they thought that Staley should have gone for it on 2 in that game against the Raiders. When Mike catches
100%.
that touchdown pass, a lot of the players thought they were going to go, yes, Jorge, I will not talk about that one. God, why do you guys, everybody brings that one up.
Yeah.
Well, Jorge, I brought it up by saying that, but no, I'm just saying, I thought, and a lot of people thought that they should have gone for it too. They should have gone for it for 2 and ended the game right there. That the Chargers defense was gassed. Why did you want to even try and go? And then they had injuries. The Chargers should have gone for 2 there. But
especially your whole thing was being aggressive that season, I think.
Yeah, that was a season that Staley was being really aggressive. I thought they were going to go for 2, and I even told Gilbert, because I was sitting next to Gilbert, I was like, they're going to end it right here with a 2-point conversion. He's like, that's what they should do. And oh my God, Jorge, that sounds very Hong Kong-esque of you to
my God.
Put it like that. But
oh my God.
But I definitely think that going for 2 in smart ways, I think that's definitely, but you have to be like,
you have to have the right play. You have to have the right play also.
With it. Robert D says 31-14.
I like that. Leave no doubt. I was going to ask real quick. Hold on. Jorge, what are you talking about? What cards?
No, he's saying the Panini cards. He's saying if we had cards like you know how football players have cards, the trading cards.
Oh my God!
Like if we put you on a Pokemon card,
can you imagine what we would do for Hilberto?
We should put you on a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, Burger, keep an eye out. I like the idea. I'm trying to come up with some new shirt ideas also for the Compas on the Beat. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. Any suggestions? Obviously, send it.
Oh, if I was making a wish, that's what I would ask for. Is know what happened.
Oh my God!
You guys are wild.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, fitness, I agree. He said, I personally
Yeah.
hate the idea of going for 2. It's not a high percentage play. Just take 1, in my opinion. Some cases you need to go for 2. Again, fitness. I'll give you another funny story. There was multiple games when Staley was the head coach where I would sit next to Eric Williams and some of the older guys. Like I've sat next to Joe Reedy. I've sat next to guys that obviously they've seen the game and everything, and they've seen it for years. And the way these guys would cringe when Staley would go for it at random times or go for it for on 4th down, they'd be like, "What is he doing?" I'm like, "No, that like I'm not against it. I think sometimes going for it for
You just have to be
on 4th
smart.
down,
You have to be
yeah.
smart.
Well,
'Cause-
yeah, like Dan Campbell doing that against the who did he do it
Oh
against?
my God, the Packers.
Oh yeah,
I think it was the
yeah.
Packers, and it's like, bro, just run out the clock and kick the field goal. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Want
I
to
thought
leave
that
no
was,
doubt. Want
I
to
thought
leave
that
no
was
doubt.
great. Dan, X factor for this weekend.
I think it's going to be Greg Roman. You have a first-year coordinator with a lot of injuries. You got to dial up the right stuff, get these guys comfortable doing things that they like doing, that they're good at. Biggest thing, build off of your strengths. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here in week 17 or whatever it is. Just be smart. Have a good game plan. Take advantage of first-year head coach and coordinator, and just be smart. Be smart with it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
I will go with J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins has a no. You know what? No. I'm going to change it. Lad McConkey. You heard what Doug Kyed said. Lad McConkey could be in for a huge game.
Yeah.
Lad is only.
Oh, he's less than 100 yards. I think
He's 40
1,000.
yards away from 1,000.
That's what I thought.
I'll say he'll get to it on the first drive. But
40 yards on the first drive. Damn.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the way they've been starting the game. It's boom, boom,
No,
boom, boom, boom.
But I meant like with Lad going 40 yards.
Lad could get to 1,100 yards in this game. 140 yards. I could see Lad.
That would be
I could see Lad
interesting.
having a huge game.
Let's see it. Let's
It's
hope for it.
like Doug said, they're not going to put Christian
Gonzalez
on him because he's not a slot guy, and
Yeah.
that's exactly where this dude lives. So, 40 yards away from 1,000, and Maye said he'll surpass, I think, Keenan Allen's record. Like I said,
Well, he has the extra game or two also. So
if the Chargers win this weekend, I think the Chargers need to rest guys next weekend. I know everybody cares about seeding. I wouldn't care about it. I would go get
No.
I would rest my players. We saw what happened last time. Well, they were already
Yeah.
locked into the 5th seed last time, but still, I would
Yeah,
I would go
I
for
wouldn't do
seeding
it
next
either.
week against the Raiders, or I wouldn't go for seeding next week against the Raiders, and I would just rest rest my guys. Oh my God. There's no way, Jorge, you care more about that.
he's committed.
Oh yeah, Lad did miss a game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
He
You're
missed
right,
the
Robert
Chiefs
D.
game. Yeah.
That's right.
I'll go with Lad. I'll say Dan, Chargers winning, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I as well. Dan, before we head out, I have one last funny video for you. Remember
this.
Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legette said that he likes eating raccoon?
Oh, yeah.
So he brought some for the media members to try in the locker room.
No, he didn't. What a nice guy, though, honestly, but still.
Cute.
Would you have tried it?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you volunteering me?
I wonder if anyone.
Y'all gotta try. I don't have a spoon.
Try that.
Oh, is it like a wing?
No. It's that stuff right there on the plate.
That's not bad.
No way. Oh,
It ain't bad. It's not bad. Oh, that's too much. It's not bad.
She
Yeah,
said,
I love what
cute.
Jorge said. Great way to
He
get
said,
tapeworms.
I tried raccoon and it wasn't bad, spicy and well seasoned.
Oh my God.
Shayna
Jorge's
Quick.
up in the ante, Frau.
Dude, that's crazy.
They really want to know about that story.
Yeah, that's definitely crazy. Wait, what happened? My bad, I wasn't looking.
I could tell.
Y'all are wild.
Yeah.
Y'all are wild. No, you guys are wild. I couldn't. I mean, It's a really interesting. No, yeah, Dan. I mean, what do you think?
Well, it is interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. Dan was at the at the table the day that
that's why I'm always just a fly on the wall. That's all I do when we're out.
All right, everybody, we appreciate you guys so much for jumping on. Don't forget to hit the smash the like button. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. That's Robert D. Thank you guys so much to everybody here.
Jorge's upset that I know. Knowledge is power, my guy.
Jorge, Robert D, Robert M. Let's see, Ivan, Burger, Fitness, Angie, everybody. Hold on, let me see more people. Jay, King Rye, Josue, Anthony Ray, Matthew, Boltillo, all you guys, Fredo, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, God. Robert wants me to pay to get the story.
No, he said pay Dan.
Dan. Yeah. See, Robert knows. I'm kind of like, I'll be a prostitute. We'll see.
Bolt Maniac, thank you so much. You're the man. We appreciate it,
Shout
guys.
out, Bolt
Saturday,
Maniac.
as soon like right around 1:30, we will be jumping on to discuss the game. So make sure you guys are here. 1:30 on Saturday. We will jump on. We'll discuss everything that happened in the game, and we'll see if the Chargers clinch a playoff spot.
Bullshit. We're gonna witness.
Once
no
they
doubt.
do, you guys have to watch the episode with Dan on here because Dan is Dan's gonna go crazy.
Hey, really trying out here.
I know, for real. Oh wow. Liverpool ended up winning 3-1. But again, Robert D, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Guys, next week, Monday, the 4 Compas will be jumping on. Then next Thursday, Dan and I will be jumping on to preview Chargers Raiders. We'll have a very special guest starting off on the show, and then we will end with some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun next Thursday, Dan. I'm excited about the special guest.
I can't wait.
That we're bringing on next Thursday. You guys know him. You guys love him. I'm sure you guys have seen his videos out there. He's a social media guy. So, oh my God, Jorge, my God.
You should reach out to his people, Frau.
I'll reach out, Jorge. I'll try and see if if he's willing to jump on one day. But I don't know what he's doing now. But I definitely. Real quick. This is what Jim Harbaugh had to say about playing out in the cold when it comes to this game.
We had a little rainfall last week. One day of practice, that was good. But most all of us have played in those kind of games, or grew up in that kind of weather, And bottom line is, these guys are young, they're healthy, and their heart pumps warm blood, pumps it from the arteries to the veins, to the tributaries, to the capillaries, throughout their whole body. You just play ball.
Jorge, I tried, but you wouldn't like the response that I got. We definitely, again, appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Dan, this is going to be a game where this weather is going to show them exactly what they're going to be facing if they have to go to
Buffalo, Kansas City,
Buffalo,
100%.
KC, all these places. So this is good.
It's just a mindset.
Yeah, it's definitely
not cold if you don't think it's cold.
Yeah, it's they're that's definitely going to be one of those. That's definitely going to be one of those games that shows you exactly what you're going to be facing out in the elements and all that. So again, thank you guys so much. Saturday, 1:30. Don't forget, Jorge's been out once. He came out for Antonio Gates' event last year.
Yeah, I was about to say, not even an alumni thing. Okay.
No, it was the Antonio Gates jersey
retirement. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, Saturday, 1:30 p.m. next week, Monday, the 4 Compas, then Thursday, Chargers Raiders preview. Thank you guys so much. Dan, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, Compa, tell a girl, Compa, have a great freaking weekend. Let's go clinch this sumbitch.